You are now listening to the Checkmate Arcade Podcast, episode 194, recorded on July 9th, 2014. Brought to you by Frigid Blast Studios in association with NoobReview.com. Welcome to the Checkmate Arcade Podcast, your home for quarter munching fun. And I know this probably sounds like a joke, but there's this treant and this phoenix, and they're on the battlefield. And, well, you know what? I'll just tell you the whole story later. My name is Stephen Boss, the Dark Boss Man.
And I had a wonderful time in Chicago finally going to the Galloping Ghost Arcade I actually day two'd my first Magic the Gathering Grand Prix. I have to come back tomorrow? Oh, well, there goes my Sunday plans. I'm MSU Hitman Jason Billingsley.
Congratulations, sir. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. Yeah, that was not the plan going.
It never is.
You know,
it's like, wait a minute. Oh, I'm still in. Okay. I guess I'm not playing in that sealed event on Sunday.
Well, yeah, so things had changed there too, because we're still traitors to the tabletop cause.
Yeah, but we love some card games, so, we talk about them every once in a while.
Yeah, so I guess that plan had actually changed too, because Cheetor Lives, who used to be assistant manager at one of my other jobs, the Hint job. He lives in Chicago now. His wife's, settled up there as a nurse. He had gone out to California. She was a traveling nurse, but now they've settled back in the Chicago area. So I stayed with them. And the plan changed the week of to where Cheetor was like, hey, why don't Sunday we go to Galloping Ghost? And maybe before that, we'll hit up some, flea market type whatever in Chicago, places looking for some used games and stuff. So I was like, okay, yeah, that's cool. I'd rather do that than be there at 9 in the morning again and spend another $30 some odd to play Magic when, hypothetically I'd played a couple of rounds of Magic Friday after busting my butt to get there. And then, all day Saturday, it's like, I haven't seen Ross in a while, so it'd be cool to go out and hang out with Ross all day. And I've been dying to go to Galloping Ghost forever. But I'm sitting there at 3-2, and, things are going about like I expected. Absolutely punted round one. Oh, gosh, that was just...
What happened?
All right, so first off, this is going to make me sound like a douche and an elitist in advance, so I apologize.
Okay.
But, alright, so round one, first off, for the Grand Prix now, a lot of them have these VIP packages.
And that is what?
That's where you pay double the entry fee. You get, free water. At Chicago, you get free water. You got an exclusive version of the playmat. You got an area, a lounge dedicated to you with chargers for all your devices. You got to wear the same badge as the judges, except it said VIP. And normally, the only people that buy those are the ones with buys. Or if you did successfully at Grindr the night before, you would get those with some buys.
That doesn't exactly sound worth it, though, for double the price. I mean, maybe if they included, free lunch, maybe that's worth it.
No, I don't think it includes any free food. I'd have to look up
Yeah.
That's roughly the list of things.
That would that would probably be the only way it would be worth it if it was, yeah, double the price, you get the extra little stuff, and then you get a free lunch.
You were supposed to have an exclusive area for the pairings, but those always got put up last, so like people would just look up on their phones and stuff. And there was a couple other things I'm forgetting. There was like a free draft on Sunday only for the VIP. But like I said, the majority of the people who did it are people with buys.
Right.
Because you got like sleep in special, and you got a bunch of perks.
Right.
But you could just buy, pay for it and not have any buys, which is the opponent I ran into in round 1.
Huh. Okay.
I was like, okay, I'm playing a VIP. Don't all those people supposed to have buys? I guess not. Okay. And to say this person was a novice, I think that would be the kind word for it.
Okay. Then how did you lose?
Okay, first off, I guess I got a little frazzled because I had to double and triple check everything. Because he tried to do some things like he tried to, the turn he played Mutavault, activate, pay a mana to make it a creature and swing with it, which doesn't work. Because the turn it comes into play, it
comes in tapped, right?
No, it comes in ready.
Oh.
It's a land. It's a land that can turn into a creature, but everybody who plays Standard knows the turn it comes into play, it has Summoning Sickness. Now, you could still tap it for mana. You could still tap it to make it a creature to pump up, like, say, your rats.
Yeah, something that counts creatures on the field, stuff like that. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, you could still do that, but you cannot swamp turn 1, Mutavault turn 2, tap the swamp, bring it out, attack. No, that doesn't work. I had to call a judge.
Okay. Right. Okay.
So, and then in game 2, I have the new creature out, the Eidolon, a Great Revel, that says whenever either player casts a spell that costs 3 or less, they burn for 2. So...
Okay. So basically trying to punish your opponent for playing a lot of spells.
Right. So, like... I do, Eidolon was out, and I attacked with it. I did some, I attacked, or something, and then he's like, no, I'm going to, I played some spell, I attacked with, Eidolon, and he played some spell. And I was like, okay, in response, I did a spell that would burn me, or burn him, burn me, but I'm gaining the life back from him devouring, fleshing my character. And he's like, no, I devour flesh your character. And it's like, there's still damage here, there's still triggers from Eidolon, so I had to call a judge over for that.
Right.
So game 3... I've got all my sideboard stuff out. He's playing a demon deck. He's playing mono black devotion. And he's got Master of the Feast out. Now, Master of Feast is one of these new creatures. It's an enchantment creature from Journey into Nyx. It is a 5/5 flyer for 1 black. So 3 mana for a 5/5 flyer. There's obviously a drawback. At the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent draws a card. Now, he has played that. In my hand, I have Wear and Tear, which the only pertinent part of Wear and Tear is Tear, and I have Banishing Light.
Is that one of those dual cards that you could do one of either effects?
Or both, yes.
Okay.
Wear and Tear is white to destroy an enchantment, or 1 and a red to destroy an artifact, or 3 to do both.
Right, okay.
So, and it's instant speed.
Right.
So if I have those 2 cards in my hand, the correct way to get rid of that threat would be to use Tear on the Master of the Feast on the upkeep trigger, so I still get to draw a card and then kill it, and then save my Banishing Light for something like, I don't know, like Desecration Demon.
Okay.
But I screw up and play, because I'm nervous, and it's, first Grand Prix ever, and I put Banishing Light on the Master of the Feast, and of course next turn he plays Desecration Demon, and I have to play around Demon the rest of the game. I actually still get him down to 1, but can't draw another burn spell and lose.
Ugh.
And can't, keep regurgitating Phoenix and this and that, and yeah.
Oh, that reminds me of a game I had in Hearthstone, like yesterday. I got my opponent to 1, and then he killed me.
Yeah, so I just completely punted that, which caused me to have horrible tiebreakers, of course. I had like the worst tiebreakers to get into day 2, but anyway, so then I go and I win the next 3 rounds in a row. So I was like, okay, wow, this is doing pretty good. And then I lose to Mono Black again, pretty close, but don't quite get there. So I end up at 3-2. Now, the way a Magic Grand Prix works is they have to divide it out in 2 days. They play 9 rounds generally the first day. And you have to have at least 7 wins to get to day 2. So sitting there at 3-2, I kind of figured, well, this is about like what I expected. I wanted to finish 500. Because that's generally what had happened roughly at the 2 Star City games in St. Louis I had gone to. Which at the time were the biggest Magic events I had ever gone to. By the way, this was 2,040 players.
Damn.
So then I go on a little streak and just win 4 in a row and win out, and I'm 7-2, and I'm coming back for day 2. So from 2,040 players, there were only like 230 or so that made day 2.
Well, that's really nice.
Yeah, and top 100 get at least $250.
I'd say that's worth attempting, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm 7-2, win the first round against Blue Red Devotion, so I'm 8-2, and I'm like, all right, we're gonna keep this going. And then I lost to a Mono Black deck, like got smoked, like it wasn't even close. So, all right, 8-3, okay, and then I won my next game, so I'm like 9-3, okay, 9-3. Yeah. I've got 3 rounds left. I could 2-1 these last 3, and maybe I could win some money. My dream of top 8 and all that is done at 9-3. But I go 2-1, 3-0 here. Maybe I'll win some money. And then I lose the next 3.
Oh, jeez.
Finish 9-6 in 175th place.
That's still really respectable out of 2,000 plus people.
Yeah. First Grand Prix, biggest card game tournament I'd ever played in, period, because even versus pro circuits, I think the biggest one I ever played in was Indy 06, and that was like 450-ish players. 450, somewhere between 450 but under 500.
Do you remember what you were playing in Indy 06?
Yes. Oh, gosh. Rock deck. Rock of Eternity. JLA Checkmate Rock.
Wait, 06. Maybe I'm thinking of a different one.
Oh, you're bringing up bad memories.
No, I'm thinking of a different Indy then.
What, Indy 05?
I might be thinking of 05, yeah.
Yes, the other DC Modern format, the one that sucked, where you either played Green Lantern Stall or Superman Robots or...
Yeah, I tried to play an Emerald Enemies deck. Straight Emerald Enemies, nothing else.
Yeah,
that was a terrible idea for me.
Yeah, that Indy 05 for Versus was the one where I LCQ'd my way in with Common Enemy. And then it's like, yes, I made the pro circuit. I got a shirt. Yeah, so yeah. What deck are you playing tomorrow? I've got this Green Lantern Curve. Sure. got
Yeah.
my butt handed to me, as I should have.
Yeah.
And then the 10K was going to be DC Modern again, and like people were begging them to do sealed, and they're like, nope, we can't do it. So that was Jason's last Yu-Gi-Oh tournament, because I turned right around and played my Earth Beatdown at Shonen Jump Indy 05. And actually finished in prizes at a Shonen Jump in the top 50 with Earth Beatdown.
Nice.
In the heyday of Chaos. I can't remember if Chaos Emperor Dragon
was it Emperor Dragon, or was it the Sorcerer?
Well, I can't remember if Chaos Emperor Dragon was banned yet. I know Luster Soldier was still around. But this was the deck that top 8 me earlier. That same year had top 8 me a Kansas City regional. This was Earth. This was Earth Beatdown, so pre-Cyber Dragon, where Berserk Gorilla was the biggest 4-star monster in the format.
Oh, jeez.
So this was Berserk Gorilla, Magic Swordsman, the one that would kill defense creatures without battle damage before Drilloid was a thing. This was
there's a ton of those monsters now, actually.
Yeah, I know, Drilloid in particular, but
well, I mean, even more than just Drilloid.
Right.
There's a bunch of them that do it now.
Yeah, this was Toon Gemini Elves, and this was the set of tunes that were the first ones where...
Oh, that's right.
Didn't require Toon World to summon, and when I went to that Kansas City regional, I had to print out the entire Upper Deck FAQ, and I just had it set to the page, and I was like, because the opponent's like, first 2 rounds called a judge over, and I just handed him the FAQ because the judge running this regional was a level 1, and I knew that I was like,
really?
Yes.
Wow, damn.
Like, I was like, I'm going somewhere where I don't know, and if I didn't have that FAQ, he would have ruled against me.
Yeah.
And he was the only judge there, and this was 2005. You know, this wasn't the days where you could pull up, I couldn't pull it up on a phone. There was no internet.
This was pre-smartphones.
Yes, this was way pre-smartphone, so...
Jeez, and that's not even that long ago. That is nuts how fast phones have evolved.
Yeah. So I had the entire... So before round 3, he had to make an announcement that there are Toon creatures that do not require Toon World. And everybody's like, what's he talking about? Somebody's playing tunes? Like, the room just went nuts. Like, what the hell's going on? But as I kept winning, and people came over, and I'm at the top tables with my deck, and it's just all these earth monsters just smashing the out of people. And
Beatdown was a strong idea back in the day.
Yeah, Earth Beatdown, and then clear the field for the Toon Gemini Elves to hit you and take a card away.
Yeah.
Because card advantage in Yu-Gi-Oh! Was so overpowered.
It's still pretty big.
Yeah, but I mean, any of the discard effects back then, like, that was a discard. I mean, I had 3 Toon Gemini Elves. Yeah. I mean, that was all the hand disruption cards were either limited to 1 or banned. Because they were so powerful, and here I am with 3 Toon Gemini Elves. Sure, they can't attack the turn I play them, but if you don't deal with them in your next turn, then they're killing your hand.
Yeah.
And if I had whatever the card was that gave Earth monsters 500 attack, because back then the only tribute monsters people played were Jinzo, and then Black Luster Soldier.
Yeah. So
Jinzo's not going to do you any good. Nobody's going to have Summon Skull.
Mm-hmm.
So, once I got those cards on the field, it was like, you better get Mirror Force.
Yeah.
Or kill my, my field spell. And nobody played field spells back then. This was before GX came out.
God, that was after they banned Black Hole, right? Dark Hole?
Yeah, I don't think Dark Hole was legal.
Yeah. I can't believe they unbanned that.
Yeah. Well, whatever. But anyway, yeah. So the reason I was saying bad memories for 06 was that was the one pro circuit I could have done well at. It's just I had the worst luck ever because your rock decks did well against everything except for what was the DC Magic users team? Shadow
Pact.
Shadow Pact. Like, it just lost to Shadow Pact. And I played Shadow Pact 6 of the 9 rounds.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so I went 1-5 against Shadow Pact. Went 3-0 against everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my chance because Kurt ended up, I think Kurt made day 2. He had a feature match. I think he played Vidi Wijaya in the feature match area. I can't remember who won that, but I remember Kurt playing Vidi in the feature match area. Vidi was playing VU, check,
Yeah, that's right. Village United.
Yeah.
I think I tried just a straight Village United deck at one point.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, that was my last pro circuit because 07 there were only 2 pro circuits. There was the Australian one, and then there was the last one in Indy, which I wasn't qualified for, and I also had my aunt and uncle in Iowa's 50th wedding anniversary was that weekend, along with my high school graduations. There were 3 things I could have gone to, so I ended up going to my aunt and uncle's anniversary. Then I went to the 2 elite PCs, got the mats, and then then judged Mega Weekend Chicago, then Worlds, where I actually day 2'd, and had I not screwed up draft 2, would have top 8. And
yeah, that happens.
Yeah. All right, so sorry.
We are smarter for all our losses.
Yeah, so that went a little longer than I expected, but yeah, it was cool.
It was
cool today too. I mean, I didn't get to spend much time with Ross. I mean, I got to spend a little Friday night, a little bit Saturday night, and very little on Sunday because that was going into his wife's weekend, and they were trying to get groceries and stuff, and then they had forgotten their wallet, and then it's like, he's like, Jason, you better think think about going, because like I had to be at work at 10 a.m. the next morning, and it was already 6 o'clock at night. And I was like, yeah, I probably better get going.
Yeah. So did you drive the entire way?
Yeah.
Or?
Yeah, I drove.
Jeez.
It's not that bad a drive. It's about 4 to 5 hours, depending on how fast you drive.
I mean, that's still a long time. I think the drive up to Boston is a long time, and that's just about 4 hours.
I made sure I had plenty of podcasts. I had all my recent video game soundtracks that, since my Zune is dead, I don't have them digitized, so I just have the physical discs, so I had them all with me. So, I got through it fine.
No, I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm just saying that's a long distance. And I thought the drive to, I want to say it was Ohio for, what was it, 08 was the last Versus event?
Yeah.
Or was it 09?
08 was the last official.
Was it 08? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like, God, how long was that? It was like 7, 8 hours, 9 hours in the car?
For both of us, yeah, because... I mean,
that was nuts.
We were roughly the same distance from Columbus, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that was just an eternity in the car.
Well,
God,
yeah.
Driving sucks. It's so slow.
That was post-Saturn Sky for me as well, so... That was, we had to take Amanda's sister's car, I think is what it was, and the air conditioning wasn't great. Then when we got there, of course, in the middle of a tornado warning, as we talked about on the dual podcast 8 eons ago.
God, that was such a weird night.
And then also the next day, Kurt had rolled down the window because, like I said, the air conditioning wasn't good. and then it fell off the track, and we
Oh.
couldn't get it fixed. So the rest,
What do you mean fell off the track?
like the window fell off of it.
Oh, the window. Oh, geez, yeah, that's even worse.
So the
Oh,
rest
yeah.
of the time until we got back to St. Louis, we had to have a trash bag or something like that over the window. And, and Kurt was getting, mad because, he was getting frustrated because he was the one driving. And
Yeah.
he was having to build his deck he was having to build two versions of his deck, one for him and one for his brother, and he didn't have all the cards.
Hmm.
And this happened, the falling off, and then, so we had to, instead of going straight to the thing, we had to go around and try to see if we could get the window fixed quickly. So we
Yeah.
were running late getting there. And then Kurt, goes X and O day one.
Jeez, yeah, that was a really weird weekend.
Yeah, that was.
But at least we capped it off with The Incredible Hulk. That was a fun movie.
Oh, yeah, we had already left. You guys went to watch that, yeah.
Oh, you weren't there. Damn.
Yeah.
Damn, you missed a good movie there.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so good.
We had to get back because I had to work, and I think Amanda or Kurt did, or, we had work, so we had to get back.
Yeah. Nah, I get it. Work is important.
All right, so that was,
A trip down memory lane.
yeah,
That we did not expect.
yeah, and I forgot to timestamp, so we probably...
That's all right.
All right, let me, now we kind of ruined the transition into the...
It's been about 6 minutes ish, somewhere around there.
Yeah. Transition, go. Your transition, go.
To what?
To now playing.
Oh, I forgot we're doing a video game podcast. Goddamn.
Yes.
Oops. I thought we were just talking about card games the entire time.
No.
Oh, alright, let's get into our now playing. So, what have you been playing that isn't a card game?
Yeah, sorry, because that's...
Sorry about that.
Well, no, it's fine, because that's
Oh,
half of what's been significant to me since we've done these last two shows.
Oh, the train left the station, man. I completely lost it.
All right, so Cheetor was happy because I brought my Wii U because he didn't have one, and I brought
Yeah.
all the games. And part of the plan was like, hey, maybe I'll get to play some Mario Kart against a real person. Da 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 da. Well, that didn't happen, but Cheetor got to play some Mario Kart 8.
Yeah.
Then I played some Mario Kart 8 at Bodox Games because there was one Friday when I got back where I was off all day, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to take my Wii U to Bodox and let Bodox see Mario Kart because I forgot he had a Wii U. I forgot he had one. So
Yeah.
I played it in his shop for a little bit. So, I've not played a significant amount. Still haven't played online, but Mario Kart 8, it's outside of the battle
Mario
mode.
Kart.
Yeah, outside the battle mode, great game.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the few things Nintendo seems to do well, is continuing to keep Mario Kart relevant.
Yeah.
Somehow. It's magical. I don't understand it.
All right, so the only other Wii U game I played is probably the most significant one of June. Actually won IGN's Game of the Month for June, was Shovel Knight.
That's a big release from last month, yeah.
Yep, so I played it a little bit. I mean, I played a little bit of it at PAX East, and, I've got the full release now. It's just a great game. As like Patrick Klepek and some other game writers have, it's not one of these 8-bit that's just trying to, it's not trying just to be like, oh, here's the art style, and then no thought of the gameplay, or it doesn't fall in the trap that, Way Forward did when they remade DuckTales.
Yeah.
It didn't fall...
It's not trying to just feed off the nostalgia.
Right. I mean, it's incredible controls. It's a great premise. They borrow from all kinds of games. I mean, the gameplay is...
Well, every one of the great games borrows a mechanic from something else
Yeah.
and refines it to just the right level of quality that you just see. You see the greatness that was in the original idea.
Yeah. I mean, your gameplay is straight out of a cross between Mega Man and the side-scrolling Castlevanias that aren't Simon's Quest, so 1 and 3. So you have your gameplay is Mega Man cross Castlevania 1/3. You have an overworld similar to Super Mario Brothers 3. You have towns that they're homages to Zelda 2.
Yeah.
And all this just fits right in together. Just awesome playing game. Arguably the best Kickstarter game.
I think you might be right.
I mean,
I can't think of any of the others.
Banner Saga seems.
Oh, okay. All right. You know what? It's up there.
Yeah.
I'll say it's in contention.
Yeah.
At least.
It's definitely the best one that's gotten past PC.
What do you mean past PC?
Well, most of the Kickstarter stuff is PC only. I mean, Banner Saga.
Oh, okay. You mean ported to other consoles?
Yes.
Okay.
I think I can safely say that. I mean, whatever Double Fine, your boy Tim Schafer.
Broken Age?
Broken Age, yeah. All these games are PC only. My boy Chris Roberts, Star Citizen, that's still like the only thing that's out for backers, I think, is the multiplayer arena. And I just read a story today that the last update they put out for it broke it.
Oh, jeez.
So, yeah, this is the most significant Kickstarter game that's gone beyond a PC release. So,
yeah,
it definitely has that. But it's just an awesome game. I got it on Wii U mainly because I don't play my 3DS much right now. And I just like the options on the Wii U better. I can sit in bed at night and play it on the gamepad. I can play it on the big screen with the Pro Controller.
Well, I get that you would want it on a bigger screen. I get that. Because it's a pretty game.
Yeah, and not only that, but the Wii U where, you spend $50, get 5 back, that program does not exist on 3DS, so that's another financial better reason
fair enough.
to spend it for Wii U. So, I mean, I'm just really enjoying the game, and if you have a 3DS only, get it for that. If you are a PC person, I mean, there's no problems with any of the versions. So, great game to get, regardless as long as you have one of those 3 platforms, and I'm sure eventually it'll start trickling down to 360 and Vita, PS3, it'll start trickling down to the other platforms eventually.
It might take a while.
Yeah.
But I think they're doing well enough that they could do it, yeah.
All right, so moving on to 360, talk briefly about Torchlight on the E3 episode. I beat Torchlight.
Yeah. Cool.
Because I was trying to, I sit there and, it's so stupid. I sit there and be like, sometimes I get home from work, especially after working both jobs, and oh, what do I play? While I have this entire bookshelf full of games.
I do the same thing. I'm like, what do I want to play? I'm sitting here, it's the middle of the night, I've got a couple more hours before I'm tired. Let's just play this.
Yeah, and now on 360, if I go to the list and just scroll through all the digital games on my I've got the 320 gigabyte slim hard drive, so that has 290 in space, I think, on it.
Something like that.
It only has 25 gigs left free.
Oh, jeez.
So yeah,
you've been busy.
Yeah, I literally have 160, 70, 80, games on demand / XBLA / Xbox Live Indie games to scroll through. It's like, let's actually beat some of these things.
Sounds like a plan.
That's what summer's for, right?
Yeah. Catch up on the backlog.
Yeah, so that was why Torchlight happened. And then, like I said, when I talked about, that's also one of the ones that I can play. If something on the 360 is downloading, it can play, and the game will still download in the background. It's not one of these XBLA games that stops any downloads. So,
right.
And also if something was downloading, say like on PS3, PS4, or something. So,
yeah.
And I was I was literally right at the cusp of being it anyway. So
yeah, I mean you were pretty close, I think, when you stopped initially.
Yeah, well, I mean, I had started and stopped a couple different times, but the last time I stopped, I was literally 5 floors from the end, 4, whatever it was. So yeah, so got through that. Then I powered through right around the holiday. I powered through Far Cry 3.
Yeah, and then you suddenly stopped.
Yeah, I had gotten to the second island, and then I don't know what...
Yeah, it does lose a little bit of momentum once it hits the second island.
Yeah. So, that kind of... I hit there, and I just stopped and never got back to it. I think I sold it while it was still worth a lot to afford other games. And then I bought the download, and when it was on sale last Christmas, thinking, oh, well, the disc will never get to $20 or cheaper than $20, and it has.
Yeah.
And just, so I was like, I'm fairly close to the end of this, and I think, let's go. And yeah, I played it like 4 or 5 hours and beat it.
Yeah. It's still pretty fun, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a very good game. It's definitely a great game. One of the best of 2012. Absolutely, deserves that. And then I was like, you know what? Let's suffer through Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, which
suffer is a strong word for that game.
There's nothing wrong with the game per se.
Yeah, it's just really, really short.
Well, it's not even that either. Sorry, it's. I have to turn brightness. It does not do well.
It's also really dark. Yes. Literally dark.
Yes.
It's weird why they chose the light level that they did.
Because I have to turn brightness up all the way on that game to be able to see anything at all, period. And it washes out. Like, you can tell, like, the graphics are just washed out from being too bright. But it's either that or you can't see, so...
Well, I think also your TV might be a little dim, maybe, then at that point, because I don't think it was quite that bad.
Okay, well...
It's darker than it needed to be, by a lot. It really should have been a little brighter. But I don't think I had to pump the brightness to near max to see anything.
Well, I do, so that's why I was wanted to get through that. So I got through that, and I pretty much did straight story missions. I did a couple of the outposts, but I just got through the story missions, and it's like, okay, sweet, done.
Well, it's actually a really easy game to 100%.
Yeah.
The only thing that was hard to do was killing the blood dragons after you finish the story, because they only spawn in like 2 areas.
Okay. Yeah. Oh my gosh, the end of the 5th story level. F that.
I don't remember which one that is.
That's the one where you get dropped in a little tiny area with 2 blood dragons, and you have to kill both of them.
I mean, I remember killing a ton of blood dragons, so that's not...
Well, up to that point, the game encouraged you not to interact with the blood dragons, but then, at that point, they tell you what the dragon's weak spots are, but the problem is you're in the small enclosed area with limited ammo and 2 blood dragons, and if you don't remember to, I need to equip the Terror 4000, if you don't look at an FAQ and be like, yeah, I should equip the Terror 4, the chain gun before this fight, because and then I was like, oh, well, F this game, I'm just going to quit, and it'll save my No, the checkpoints only last while you're in the game. So you turn the game off, and you're all the way back to the start of the mission. I was just like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I hate when games do that.
And then the 6th level has, you in enclosed areas. Thankfully, they give you unlimited ammo, you're in the enclosed areas fighting off the Walking Dead or Running Dead, and then you get the uber overpowered weapon to finish the game with, and then to use for the rest of the game.
Oh, right, yeah, the spinning disc.
Yeah, the spinning laser death disc that feeds off your life force, yeah.
Oh, yeah. God, that thing is ridiculous.
Yeah, it just breaks the game.
God, I loved playing. I loved when I got that thing.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much that's all I used in the last level.
That's the thing to use during that last level.
I think I used the sniper rifle a couple of times.
Yeah, I mean, occasionally there's guys who are just a little outside the range.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So, alright, so yeah, I beat Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. So it's
still fun, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's alright. I mean, I like Far Cry 3 better, but it's not bad. Definitely. If you can get it on sale or something. Yeah. Here's the crazy thing now. So, they put out the Far Cry collection on PS3 last fall, where it's Far Cry 2 and 3 on one Blu-ray, and then a download code for Blood Dragon. Well, the Far Cry 3 collection just hit 360 this last month, and it's all 3 games on separate discs. So it's Far Cry 2 on one disc, Far Cry 3 on one disc, and Blood Dragon on a disc.
On a disc?
On a
really?
disc, yes.
All right. Sure.
Not only that, but Ubisoft actually let people, I guess rental places, or at least Redbox, buy Far Cry 3 on disc to rent out, because if you look at Redbox releases, you will see one of the new releases in the last month is Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon.
New release? Okay.
Well, for disc, for Redbox, yeah.
That's definitely new to disc. I get that.
So it's available to rent at your nearest Redbox. So.
All right.
It's a perfect rental game, especially for Redbox's format. A day or two, and
yeah, it's not long. You can definitely finish real quick.
I've yet
to... even if you're trying to 100% it, it'd take you no more than 2 days, 3 days tops.
Yeah, I've yet to check Family Video, but I know it's in stock at Redbox because I keep checking Redbox occasionally to see if they'll ever have new console, new gen games.
Yeah.
And they don't.
Well, maybe next time.
Yeah. So then on July 4th, I was July 4th, I was actually off both jobs. I had plans on going to the Cardinals game that night, but those kind of fell through because I was so busy the week before. I've got 4 free Cardinal tickets to redeem to a select set of games. It was a select set of games in either June, July, August, or September. I've not gotten around to redeeming it, and I don't want to redeem it and go by myself. So I just...
Right.
So that fell through. So I'd already, I was off both jobs. So, and then none of the places were, most of the 2 places I normally would do Friday Night Magic closed for the holiday. There was the 3rd place I go to, which I didn't know because they don't update their Facebook, and I didn't even think to call. They actually did have Friday Night Magic. It was draft, but still.
Right, yeah.
And the apartment complex where I live, the Jefferson Barracks, which are right down the street from it, they have a fireworks show every year. And if you are not back to the apartments before the set start time, which isn't the actual start time because you can't shoot off fireworks at 7 o'clock at night in Missouri because it's still sunlight. But the started, if you're not back in the Jefferson Barracks apartments by 7 o'clock, you're not getting back in until after the fireworks are done because the police shut off the street.
Yeah.
They're just like, nope, can't come in. I live here, it doesn't matter. Because I've run into that problem before working at Hint Hint job that's actually open that day. I've run into that problem before, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
It happens everywhere there's fireworks, really.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
So, I was sitting there, like, okay, what do I play now? So, and I was waiting for Cheetor and Princess Peach YY to come on because we were supposed to play You Don't Know Jack. So I played Peggle real quick, just a couple of rounds, because I never got through adventure mode on Peggle.
Yeah.
So
And
I played it for half an hour to an hour. I played a few levels of adventure mode, so I got to one that I was having trouble with, and then I stopped. So I played an hour of Peggle.
But you were enjoying it.
Yeah, it's fine. It's Peggle.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's just, I was just, like, trying to do something to kill time.
Okay.
And I'm not falling down the rabbit hole of the game I'm saving for last, which is the second significant portion of what I've done since the last set of shows. So
you were saying that you had 2 people for You Don't Know Jack.
I was waiting, yes, we were going to play, but then I was like, well, I need to play it anyway to get this achievement, because there's an achievement for playing it on July 4th. So,
Oh, there is? Damn it!
Yes.
Why did no one invite me? I would have popped that disc in so fast.
I don't think you were on.
I was playing Titanfall for hours.
Okay.
On July 4th.
Well,
I was on till like 10:30.
Okay, well, I know I ended up playing You Don't Know Jack after that, because that would be 9:30 my time, because then eventually, because we were doing all this setup in a text conversation, and then it's like, well, I have to work tomorrow, and it's like, well, this doesn't seem like it's happening, so I better get on. So I ended up playing a game by myself to get the achievement. And then Cheetor came on, and then Princess Peach got on from wherever she was at, and Xbox was having problems. Like, I kept getting kicked off. Like, I kept getting signed out alive, even though my connection wasn't dying. And I've read that a lot of people have that problem first week of July across 360 and Xbox One. So she's not the most computer-savvy person, so she was having issues as well. And she was like, oh, F this, I'm going to play WoW.
Okay, that's an odd reaction. But,
yeah.
Sure.
I guess
it's a reaction to have.
So me and Cheetor played a couple of games You Don't Know Jack, which I actually won. I don't usually beat him. But both games I played, I beat him. I don't usually...
Yeah, the games we played when we played a couple months ago, yeah, he's real fast when he answers.
Yeah. I even successfully screwed him like twice.
Oh, jeez, wow.
Yeah. I was really shocked. I got the wrong answer of the game on him once.
Nice.
Which, the second game was when that happened, and that allowed me to go from way back to take the lead and then win.
Cool.
So had some July 4th You Don't Know Jack.
I can't... so many achievements in that game that are so annoying to get.
Okay, let me ask you this one. Did you buy the DLC any of the times?
Yeah.
Okay, because the DLC's delisted now. I did not realize that.
Oh, wow. Damn.
Yeah. DLC is delisted.
That's unfortunate. They really should just collect it all on a disc.
Well, that game's kind of in limbo, because, Jellyversion owns the IP, but it was published under the THQ umbrella.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's one of the ones that Nordic Games picked up.
I don't know.
Because Nordic picked up, Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy, because they actually re-released those. If you notice, they have new cover art.
No, I haven't seen them. Not a long time.
My second job allows me to maybe...
Yeah, I know, because... well, first off, the one job you originally had put you directly next to a GameStop. So I understand why you would have noticed.
Oh, yeah, I still have that first job. So,
yeah.
Yeah, so even when... so I noticed, things like that. But, so I don't know where the state of that is. I have no idea, which is weird because Cheetor, because Jellyvision is based in Chicago, and Cheetor was working for him for like a month, and then they laid him off. So,
what was he doing?
I don't want to get into that on air. Talk about that off air, but
okay.
I probably said too much as it is.
Right.
But
Okay.
yeah, so he worked at Jellyvision for a bit here recently, but I didn't realize I'm just glad I got it because I was like, oh wow, I'm glad I got it. And I don't know, I didn't, I was going to talk about it on the show with you. You got it. I don't know if Scott got it or not.
I want to say yes.
I don't know.
I don't know that he got the DLC.
Yeah, I know he has the game. I just don't know about the DLC. So just be aware that everybody out there that, you might see you don't know Jack somewhere. Just be aware that you can't get all the achievements now because there's a few hundred points in the DLC that's delisted. So,
well, that game, like I said, the achievements in that game were really just some bastard achievements for some of them.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I can't believe they put some of those things in the achievements.
All right. So moving on, I actually forgot to.
Oh, you know what? We should go and play the Far Cry 3 co-op mode so we can finish off those achievements too.
Yeah.
Those are super easy to do because we just have to get through the levels.
Yeah. This is true.
I have like 3 of the achievements left to go, and I have all the points for that game.
Yeah. All right, so one I forgot to list here. Wolfenstein for PS4.
Oh, okay.
Best Buy had it on sale, and I traded a certain game away to get me $30 credit. And then, so paid $10 for Wolfenstein. So I put in Wolfenstein. And I'm playing through the game, and
why do I feel there's an and coming?
There's an and coming, so just let me go here. So,
all right.
Read any review for it, and they'll be like, oh, well, the first hour is kind of meh, but once you get through that and the big story event happens, then it picks up and is really great. All right, so I'm slogging through I'm about 40, 50 minutes through.
Mm-hmm.
So I've slogged through, and an auto checkpoint happens, and a bunch of guys come out, so I try to duck behind some cover, and the game just crashes. It doesn't do the normal crash that'll still happen on PS4 to where it crashes to the PS4, desktop, essentially, media bar, whatever.
Right.
It crashes to the actual game's title screen, which
okay.
I have not seen. Even on 360, it would free. I've never seen a game.
I've never heard of a game crashing into its own title screen.
I mean, outside of PC.
I don't think I've seen that even happen on my PC.
I've had it happen.
Personally, on my PC, I've never seen it.
I've never seen it happen on a console game. So this just screams how these things are souped up PCs now, because it crashes to there, and I'm like, okay, well, let's try to continue. And then it's like, oh, save file corrupted. You must restart your game.
Oh, jeez.
And I'd never gotten to, a manual, like you're still at chapter 1, like that whole thing's chapter 1. So there's no, end of chapter save where I could go and back that up on Plus, and,
Yeah.
You have to get through the entire first chapter before the game makes a hard save.
Wow.
Yeah. So I haven't really played that since because, like I said, eventually here I'm going to get to the game that caused me to fall down a rabbit hole again.
Yeah.
So, alright, so there's my Wolfenstein experience.
That's really unfortunate.
Yeah, because I
have heard some good things about it.
Yeah, I keep hearing all kinds of great things about it. I want to beat that game while it's still worth a decent amount, and then I'll trade it in towards Destiny, which is the one game that coming between now and October 14th that I have it pre-ordered but not paid off. Oh, by the way, I have Borderlands pre-sequel. I bought a code off eBay.
Yeah, you told me about that a couple months ago.
Well, yeah, I had forgotten, so I had an unpaid item thing on it because I forgot that I had bid on it. And then,
wait, you didn't pay for it right away?
Well, I forgot about it. It was...
That's bad eBay etiquette, man. You have to pay for it as soon as you know you have the money immediately.
Well, like I said, it was a bid. It wasn't a buy it now. It was a bid, so I forgot.
Yeah. Didn't you get an email that said, hey, you won?
Yeah, but I don't check my email every day, and I'm hardly ever on eBay. I just got into the kick there in the end of May, but I found it's like, oops, sorry, paid it as soon as I got the eBay email. It's like you've had you've had a claim filed against you. I was like, oh yeah, oops, sorry, here's the money. So everything was cool. And then like 3 weeks, 2 weeks later, I still didn't have the thing because the guy's like, how do you want it? And I'm like, send me the freaking card. Because,
The physical card?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I never got it. So then I had to send a never received the item thing. And then he's like, oh, well, I'll send it. I don't know how many this guy had because he's like, oh, I'll send one out with tracking. So then I got I'm holding it in my hand. It's already been redeemed. I have the receipt from the 2K website, so...
Yeah, okay.
I have Borderlands pre-sequel now, so...
So, just good that it worked.
Yeah, that's why I want the card.
Yeah.
Because, if I go...
Well, that doesn't mean anything, because somebody could have redeemed the code already.
Well, then I could file an eBay claim and get my money back.
Right, yeah.
That's why I wanted the physical card.
Right.
That's why you always do the physical option when you're selling DLC on eBay. Because otherwise, shady stuff can happen. If you're to back yourself up, you've got to send the actual physical object.
Yeah.
To get around eBay's rules. Trust me, I've done this. Well, maybe not me per se.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I have known
wink,
people
wink,
that...
nod, nod.
Yeah, I've known people that have done this.
Yeah.
Alright, anyway. So, yeah, because, I have between... Let's see here. End of July, Last of Us Remastered, PS4, paid off at GameStop. End of August, Diablo and Metro, PS4, paid off Target. Madden Ultimate Team Edition, paid off at GameStop. Destiny pre-ordered at GameStop, not paid off. Dragon Age Collector's Edition, pre-ordered, online exclusive to GameStop, pre-ordered. Still gonna hurt first week of October when that $150 charge goes through.
And you really love pre-order stuff, don't you?
Well, it's sold out.
No, most of the other games, though.
Well, yeah, because I pay them off over time. Now I won't have to pay for a game again until Assassin's Creed or Far Cry. Which is good, considering all these car repairs have come up.
Yeah.
Alright, so, and then...
of course, if you hadn't pre-ordered those games, you might have already had full funding for the car.
Well, no, these were all paid trade-in stuff, other than the Dragon Age thing. So I had to order it online, and I haven't been charged for it yet.
Right.
No, this was all paid trade-in credit. So... Anyway, so, alright, so finishing...
No, I get it.
Yeah. It's just, this is how I have to manage the fall just craziness. I have to pick out what games I'm getting and then be like, okay, these are the games I'm getting, so now I have to fund these purchases. So I do trades and various things to fund the purchases.
Or you could wait until they go on sale the first time, and then you'd automatically save money.
But for some of these games, that takes a while.
Some of them, yes.
Most of the AAA releases right now, yes. And then where does it go on sale at? And do I have the money at that time?
Right. Okay.
And, oh, I'm doing a video game podcast show. Maybe it'd be nice if I actually talk about some recently released games.
Oh, I guess, but you know what? I barely do that, so,
And I like having
I don't think anyone cares too much.
Well, I like having...
I think some of them love hearing about games that haven't been talked about in a long time.
Yeah, and that's fine. But I like being a part of the conversation, and I like supporting the games I like. It's like, I like Naughty Dog. I will day one to be, yes.
Yeah, okay. I get supporting the studios that produce the good games.
Yeah.
I get that.
Or you get in abusive relationships like with BioWare.
And Ubisoft. And Activision.
No, I'm not in that much with Activision anymore.
I'm getting hyped for Advanced Warfare. I know I shouldn't be getting hyped, but I
Yes.
know I'm getting hyped.
Yes. So that's your abusive relationship is the Call of Duty franchise, and mine is BioWare. So
And boy, did I remember why when I played Ghosts this past couple weeks.
all right. So let me finish up so you can get to that. So
Yeah.
I was at job number one day, and I had free time, so I was like, okay, let's play some Vita stuff. So I picked up Dragon Fantasy Volume 1. I was playing that a little bit, and I was like, okay. And then I was like, hey, Jeremy Dunham was just on Podcast Beyond, and I've had this free download on here forever, so let's play Unit 13. And I got through the tutorial of Unit 13, and it's okay. It really
what
uses...
is Unit 13?
Huh?
What is Unit 13?
It's a SOCOM-like third-person cover shooter that's exclusive to the Vita, that's not tied to the SOCOM name. And its big thing was, I mean, it plays much like, and it's essentially SOCOM for Vita, and it has all these different single-player missions, and it had all this multiplayer co-ops mission stuff you could do, and it was score-based. It wasn't like, I mean, it had all these missions and stuff, but you're ranked by your score.
Mm-hmm.
It was a launch title for the Vita. And the last...
Oh, right. That was a long time ago, wasn't it?
Right. It was February 2012. It was a launch title for Vita. It came out on Plus sometime in the last year. Sometime after Sony shut that studio down. Because that's the last game they ever made. So the guy who used to be the head of IGN left to work there, and he's worked at a couple other game developers since. He was on Podcast Beyond and talking about it. I was like, okay, let's play Unit 13. So I played I played through the first thing. I was like, okay. And then you get to the first, you play the tutorial, and then you get to the first, I was offline. I wasn't connected online. So there's, it goes to the first thing you can play, the first mission, and it says long. And I'm like, long. Well, how long is long? And this game doesn't really work in, I have to stop immediately because, somebody just walked through the door.
Yeah.
So...
Not exactly a turn-based game, so,
yeah, exactly. So then I sat there, and I was like, I don't want to, I've gotten to a wall in Conception 2 where I was just like, I don't want to play this anymore. I mean, I still like the game, but, I'm sitting there like, gosh darn it, Jason, you're sitting here playing Conception 2. You played it a ton. You still have the gold standard literally sitting in my handheld knapsack thing here. You've got Persona 4 Golden sitting there. Come on. Let's go.
Yeah.
So I had been stuck at the final boss of Void Quest. I think that's like the 5th or 6th dungeon, whatever.
Is that the 8-bit style
yes,
area?
Yes, that's the 8-bit style area. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
I was at the final thing of that, so I'm like, come on, let's go. And I was like, oh yeah, that's right, this is where I left off. So I picked it up, and first time last week, I beat it.
Cool.
I was like, okay, here we go. And so that in the game takes place in like August, I think, right? I remember correctly. Yeah, I'm on November 1st or 2nd now. I've probably played that game like 20-ish hours in the last few days.
Nice.
So that's the rabbit hole where I've just been like every waking moment that I've had to play a game has been Persona 4. And then I found a semi-legitimate website that streamed for free the Persona 4 anime in English.
Okay.
Because Hulu only has the subtitled version. And
is it Crunchyroll that's doing it, or
no,
somebody else?
I said semi.
Oh. Well, I mean, they're kind of legit, but kind of not at the same
Crunchyroll
time.
and Anime Network are fully legit, but they require subscriptions. Yes.
Okay.
They require subscriptions. If you don't subscribe, you can only get the dub, or not the sub. The dub is exclusive.
okay. The sub is free.
The subtitled
That's how they
version
do
is
it.
free. If you want
Okay.
the English dub, you have to be a subscriber. So,
All right.
and
That's not too
Hulu,
bad.
which I already subscribed to, only has the subtitled version.
Right.
So, like, I'm looking around and I found.
I'm cutting. That's gonna get cut out. I don't want.
Oh. Okay.
That's never a good idea to advertise somebody who's doing something kind of shady.
Well, I don't know if it's shady because they have, like, ads. I'm just.
That doesn't mean it's legit. I'll just leave. That's the only part I'm gonna leave out.
Okay. When I say semi legit, I'm meaning it's not a torrent. It has real places that it does ads for, like it has Chick-fil-A and ads like that roll before you can stream it. And there are some pop-ups that go away. I don't think I've gotten any viruses yet. That's the big thing. I'm like, this isn't some site.
That's usually the least of your concerns, because if it's a virus site, you'll get the virus immediately by getting there.
Yeah.
They don't hide it behind most of this stuff.
So, yeah, so this is the only way that without, and freaking anime is just so flippin' expensive. So
Yeah, it's weird. I don't quite understand why they think charging as much as they do helps.
I've seen
because it doesn't expand the market as much as they want.
Yeah, because Persona 4 anime is broke up into 2 releases, and Blu-ray is essentially the same price as DVD, which is crazy. Essentially, it's 60.
I mean, because it's probably because it's less discs.
I guess. Anyway, it would cost basically a new video game. Like, it would cost about somewhere between $60 and $65 to buy both Blu-ray sets of the Persona 4 anime.
And that's on the low side.
That's
actually.
Yeah, that's Amazon. Yeah, that's direct.
No, I'm in general for anime. That's on the low side.
Yeah, exactly. So, so it's like, okay, so now I think I've watched like the first 4 episodes of that anime.
Mm-hmm.
I can watch through like the first 20 or so because that's where I'm up to on the game. So,
how are the voice actors kind of similar to the game voice actors?
It is the exact same voice cast as Golden.
Okay, good.
And then it's Johnny Yun Bosch doing the voice of Yu, the protagonist.
Well, I don't know if he was the one who did the voice samples for him or not.
I don't know about in the game, but yeah. So, because you can't have a silent protagonist in the anime, so.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't quite work for an anime, but still, that would be funny.
Yeah. So, it's the same voice cast as Golden, which, awesome. And sorry, I'm much more a fan of Chie from Golden than I am Chie from Persona 4. I've watched enough of the Persona 4 Giant Bomb endurance thing where I'm just like...
Endurance run.
Yeah, the endurance run. I was just like, yeah, I'm glad they changed voice actresses because, no offense, I just liked the one from Golden better.
Well, I haven't heard it, so I couldn't judge.
Just watch the English version of the anime, and that's who it is. So.
All right.
So I've fallen down the Persona rabbit hole. I've gone through a couple more months of the game. Like I said, we're getting down to the nitty gritty, and I find out that I'm fairly underleveled.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, so eventually I'm technically 5 levels below where I was supposed to be to beat the dungeon from October.
Uh-huh.
So I need to, basically, I've got to get Risei's social link maxed out so that her healing between battles increases, but it also heals the same amount of spirit points. And then apparently the thing you're supposed to do is grind the first level of Yukiko's castle because that has nothing but SP items. So basically you go through the first floor, go down to the second, go back up, and the chest reset. And
Okay.
you can kill all the normal enemies that show up in one hit, one turn, because you're way over their level.
Right.
If you find a golden hand, you go kill that to get a ton, to get a bunch of XP. And then by then you're supposed to be able to kill the Reaper, because once you open like 10 or 20 normal treasure chests in a row, the next one has the Reaper in it. And then you beat the Reaper, and then you start, getting all the best weapons in the game. You just keep beating the Reaper.
Okay, you don't have to do that, though.
Well, that's the easiest way to level. I mean, I posted on...
Right, but you don't have to.
Well, no,
It's
but...
just if you want to get to a higher level.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you've got to get your levels up there to be able to beat all the stuff for the true ending. Because, let's not forget, Golden, I already have, I'm not to it yet, but I already have the new dungeon unlocked. So, that comes later on.
See, the way I'm going through this in my brain is I remember what happened in the endurance run, and that's the only thing I know.
Okay, so did they do the final? Was Heaven their was Heaven the last dungeon they did, or did they do the dungeon in March?
It might have been. I don't remember exactly.
Okay, well, see.
I don't think there were any names on the dungeons as far as I remember.
Okay, well, there's a dungeon in December. And then now in Golden, there's a dungeon in February, which January and February were not in the PS2 version. So
Okay.
to get the true ending and the new epilogue that is exclusive to Golden, you have to. Yeah, there's a dungeon in December. There's a dungeon in February that's only available for one day, which is the one tied to the new girl, and then there's the dungeon in March.
Maybe they buffed the enemies a little bit more because you have to go through more dungeons.
I don't know. I mean, the dungeon in November, you're supposed to be level 65 by the end. Like the dungeon I just finished, I'm supposed to be at 55, and I'm at 50. And I have a couple.
I don't remember them being quite that high when they finished the game.
Okay, I have a couple of characters that are still not even in the 40s yet, like Kanji and oh gosh darn it, Chie are still like 38, and then everybody else is in the 40s, and then Prince Detective is like 55 because that's what the detective starts at, and then you is at 50.
Well, you just stick with who your favorites are. That's all.
Well, you can't really do that because of the specific weaknesses and stuff. Like, I mean, you can't take. There's a lot of times where you can't take. Like, my best team before completing the laboratory was Teddy, Yukiko, the protagonist, and X. Well, Yukiko gets exposed quite a bit with all the enemies in some of these areas that do ice attacks. So, yeah, but anyway, so that's the biggest thing to Golden is you actually play through January and February. And if you max out Marie's social link, there is the dungeon that unlocks for one day in February that you can go to finish out her story. And I have her social link maxed, so that will come up as long as I do the optional conversations correctly.
Right. Okay.
So it's interesting because it includes Valentine's Day. So there's a whole Valentine's Day segment. Now, right after Valentine's Day, it skips ahead to March, and then it's the same as the PS2 version.
Right.
Where the game can just end there, or if you're getting the true ending, you can get the you've got the new dungeon that opens up. All
right. Well, you're gonna obviously keep playing it.
Yeah. yeah, I'm going to keep playing it, and we'll see how much I have to grind to because I have to not only grind, but I've got to max out Risei's social link, and then I kind of screwed up, and now I think I may actually have a double romance going because I didn't think I would get, like, Risei's romance point comes up sooner than the other girls, and I didn't realize it. So I kind of said yes to Yukiko, and now the next time I go out with Risei, hers is going to come up.
Oh, jeez.
And that's who I wanted anyway, so I think I'm going to try the... I'm not going to do...
You're going to try to be a player?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Now, I'm not going to go crazy like some of these YouTube guys I've seen where they literally have every romantic interest going.
Right.
But, damn it. I didn't mean to have both.
Yeah, players never mean to do it, but they do it anyway.
Yeah. Alright, so golly, we gotta get going here. So, go ahead, Steven. What have you been playing?
Alright, well, I'll do my 360 stuff, because that's all repeats for the most part. I played through and finished Rage. You were not kidding. That ending is abrupt as hell.
Yeah, I listened to enough podcasts back then. I got a pretty general consensus about that.
It just literally, you kill a grouping of enemies in this one room. You just continue to kill them as they spawn while you're waiting for these terminals to power up and turn on a satellite. And once that satellite turns on, that's the end of the game.
Yep.
No resolution at all.
Yep.
That was a little sudden.
Yep.
So, yeah. That online mode, I went and tried that real briefly. The racing type that they have is kind of like Mario Kart. A little bit. But, because it's just shields and rockets and machine guns. So it's not quite as good as Mario Kart. But, it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah.
Really. It's obviously, because it's driving. It's not really my thing. And yeah, I tried to quickly get into this other multiplayer mode, which I'm from the description of it, seems like it's some kind of wave-based survival horde mode-esque. But I have no idea because couldn't find anyone else trying to play it.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, I'm done with you. It's not great. I think if they had had one more chance to maybe do something with that, they could have come up with a game that was really interesting. But as it stands, the voice acting was kind of the only draw for that game. Because it was actually good voice acting. And fairly good graphics-wise. So, maybe give Rage a pass if you've got it in your backlog. Maybe.
Nope.
Oh, then I went back and played some more Call of Duty Ghosts on 360. It's still just as bad with spawns. They have not been fixed at all. But apparently they've added a couple new things that weren't in the game originally. The ability to slowly rank up your score streaks, or your kill streaks, actually, because they don't normally go by score, they go by kills. That's how it was released originally. Yeah. Well, now if you're doing objective-based gameplay, like a kill confirmed, domination, and actually playing the objectives, you're gaining a half point towards your kill streaks per objective you do, or tag you collect. So, it's kind of like the score streaks, but not as good. So, it's something, but it's still not great. Yeah, it's still just as frustrating when there's any kind of lag. Oh, it screws you over so bad. And that's about it for that. Just had a couple of really good games in it. Was doing pretty well. I think my kill death is probably bumped up a couple points just because of how good we've been doing past couple nights when I was playing with Guile, Leather, and Chicken Boy, and Dark Tower too. So they're kind of the only reason I was playing that game, because I was like, they're playing it, and I haven't played it in a while, so all right, let's go. So got in a couple of games of that over the past couple of days. Then I was also playing a ton of Titanfall. The only thing I hear and see when I close my eyes is Titans falling from the sky. Those achievements are such bastards to get. Oh, god damn.
Yeah, I'm glad that I'm not obsessed with either game. I can imagine you'd be like Cheetor Lives if you were on Sony with the Platinum Trophy. I'm glad that I am not in the rabbit hole that you guys, I mean, no offense, that you and Cheetor and others are in about getting all the achievements. I'm just concerned about beating the campaign, story, whatever. If it has good multiplayer, play good multiplayer. You know, I'm totally okay, like Far Cry. Like, I'm totally okay having a little over half of the achievements and being like, cool. I mean, yeah, it'd be nice if I had all of them, but I don't have to be satisfied with the game.
Oh, there's one achievement. It's during an evacuation. Kill the entire enemy team yourself.
Yeah.
Unless everyone gets on that evacuation shuttle, which that never happens. I've never seen that happen. And then you'd have to get the last shot on the evacuation shuttle to kill it, which there have to be multiple Titans shooting at it, because otherwise you're not going to do enough damage to it anyway.
Right.
So you'd have to get extremely lucky again and get the last hit on it, which would then kill everyone on the shuttle, and then you would get that achievement. But that is nearly impossible to do, because they're scattered all over the map most of the time. Most of them don't go for the shuttle, because I rarely go for the shuttle if we lose the match. Just because I'm in the middle of, alright, well, I want to try and get my Titan kills on other players. It's like, I'm not really that concerned with getting to the shuttle. So, it's just, that's a ridiculous achievement. And then there's the achievement for getting a player kill who has ejected from a Titan with the plasma railgun. Oh god, it's so hard to hit them normally. But to hit them with the plasma railgun when they're ejecting is even harder.
Right.
Now, it is doable, but it is not easy at all. It's just ridiculous. And then winning 50 games on each of the modes, when I don't know how many people are playing certain modes worldwide, but 90% of them are playing attrition or, domination. The hard point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's a little difficult to get enough people together to try and get the achievements for Last Titan Standing or Capture the Flag, because those are less popular than just kill everybody modes. So, it's kind of hard to win those sometimes. Eventually I'll get those achievements. Maybe not to kill everyone during the evacuation achievement, but eventually I'll get most of those achievements. But, other than when I'm getting sniped out of the sky after I eject with a arc cannon, I'm generally enjoying the game.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how the hell anyone is sniping me out of the sky with that arc cannon. But there was one game, every time I ejected from my Titan, every single time, without fail, boom, hit with the arc cannon immediately in in the middle of my ejection. And I'm way up in the air.
Yeah.
So I don't know how the hell this one guy was doing it. But he was doing it every single time. And that is just so infuriating. Because I've never hit anyone with that arc cannon when they were in the air during an ejection.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't get it. It's maybe something was funky with that match. I don't know, but when that's not happening, I'm enjoying that game still so much. Let's see here. Played a little tiny little bit, little less than an hour of Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition on 360, which was free.
Yep.
Up until halfway through last month.
Yeah,
or the end of last month or something like that.
I bought the Ultra upgrade and I still haven't played it yet.
Well, I haven't bought the Ultra upgrade, but now I have the Arcade Edition, which I didn't have.
Yeah.
So, was played a little bit against my cousin, Wandering Storms. Yeah, we were just going back and forth, winning by kind of trying to remember how the hell to play.
Did you even have Super?
I had Super, yeah.
Okay.
Super I had because that was on disc fairly quick.
A year after, yeah. Okay.
Right, but when they released the digital upgrade, it was on disc like a week later or something.
Right, yeah.
So I immediately just picked that up right away.
No, Super you couldn't... Super didn't have a download upgrade. You had to... You either had to buy a new disc or you had to buy the download of Super. You couldn't upgrade from Street Fighter 4 to Super. Since then, every version has had a digital upgrade.
Right, yeah, okay.
That was the one that did not.
That's what it was, right.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, that was the last one that I was that I played for a while.
Yeah.
Since then, though, yeah, I hadn't upgraded or done anything with the Street Fighter.
So
now at least I'm upgraded to the Arcade Edition.
Yeah, and you have the free patch for 2012. You're at AE 2012.
Yeah. Now all I have to do is just buy the upgrade to Ultra.
Yep.
And then I'll be golden.
Yep.
Because then I'll have all those brand new characters.
Yep.
But damn, those achievements are stupid.
Well.
Oh man. I will never play through that entire game with every single one of those characters on medium.
Right.
That ain't happening.
Yeah.
Not in a million years.
Yep.
So, I've kind of resigned myself to having, like, just under 500 achievement points in that game permanently. Just because there's no way. I might be able to eventually get good enough with one of those characters to get some of those extra achievements. Mm-hmm. But probably not. Then, once we were done playing Street Fighter, we decided, okay, let's play something else. Hey, we haven't played some Might and Magic Clash of Heroes on Xbox Live Arcade in a while. So we went and played that. And we had just enough time to do one match, and that one match went on for so long. I was in single-digit health for probably 15 minutes, and we were just trading back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. He got me down to, I want to say, 2 health, and I was just barely able to squeak out a win. But it was such a good match. I can't believe how even we were during that match. We just had just the right amount of defense on each one. God, that game is so good. I really wish somebody would make a sequel. It's such a good concept for a game. Just matching 3 units together, and then it has a certain amount of time before it'll activate its attack. Each of the units has special abilities. It's such a good game. So that's where the Trient came in, and that's where my Phoenix was able to pull off the win for me. Because I was just able to do enough damage to him with my Phoenix to knock it out of the park.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, I'll have to try that at some point. I just haven't.
Yeah, there's even some online modes that there's one achievement for playing 2v2 online. I'd love to play with you.
Okay.
So that way we could actually win. Instead of having some random little tiny kid going, oh, choose this guy. Choose this guy you don't have.
Right.
It's a kid. I'm not plugging in my microphone to tell you I don't have that character or DLC. So, had some fun with that. Then my obsession with Minecraft was renewed when I started playing it again. Yep. It's still Minecraft. Even after the latest update, where they added nether quartz and a couple other things. Oh man, I went cave diving last night and I found some serious diamonds.
Mm-hmm.
I found like 6 diamonds in this one cave, 7 diamonds, I think. It was ridiculous how many diamonds I found when I was in there. So good. Oh, so many diamonds now. Just loving that. Now I'm just in the mission of trying to find Endermen to get Ender Pearls.
Right.
It's unfortunately not as easy as it sounds because Endermen are kind of notorious for teleporting around the map, you know, when you hit them.
Yeah.
So it's kind of tough to find them and kill them and collect their Ender Pearls because their Ender Pearls are not 100% guarantee each time they kill them.
Mm.
So, yeah. You know, trying to figure out how to maybe try and grind for those pearls, but it's not exactly an exact science, so I'll think of something, but that's pretty much all I'm doing in Minecraft right now. Other than that, yeah, there's not really anything else. Okay, so then I was playing some more Pushmo on 3DS. It's still Pushmo. Still moving those blocks around. Right now I'm actually stuck on a Christmas tree puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really not sure how to solve this one. So maybe I'll give it another day or two, see if I can't go back to it again, because it's the last puzzle in that section.
Yeah.
So as soon as I beat that puzzle, I'll open up a whole new level of puzzles that are even harder. So I don't know. I might be hitting the end of my Pushmo push. Pun intended. Alright, but then there was a bunch of stuff that I was still playing on PC as well. We'll do the only repeat on PC, which was Hearthstone, Heroes of Warcraft.
Yeah, I played that for like an hour. I forgot to mention that, but not as much as you have.
Oh, I played a lot. Yesterday I was playing at least 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I've kind of gotten into the mindset of exclusively using my priest class and deck.
Yep, that's a good one.
He's pretty good.
Yep,
He's pretty good.
It's one of the top 3.
Well, the thing is, I keep trying to tweak it, which may be okay, but may also not be a good idea because it was doing about 60-40 for the wins before. I think I may have lowered it accidentally with some of the tweaks, but I'm tweaking it further and further, and hopefully the latest card that I tweaked will be enough to give me an edge.
Right.
Because I finally decided, okay, let's just use some of the dust you get from destroying cards that you don't want.
Yeah.
And use it to create a card that I do want. So I created I don't remember the name of the card. I think it was called Holy Fire.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that was the name. But the effect was deal 5 damage, heal 5 health to your character.
Right.
So a swing of 10 is nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's only 6 costs, so it's probably right in the range of where my deck starts to peter out if we get to turn 7. So hopefully that'll push me over the edge. Because like I said, I got this one guy to 1 health.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just started killing each of the creatures that I put down and gaining back 3 health, 3 health.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't do anything. So, yeah, I don't know. Hopefully, like I said, the tweaks will be what I needed to pull myself back into the loop. All right, so new stuff on the PC that I was playing. Poker Night 2. Played through the entirety of that game to the point where I got all the hidden secret items that you can get for doing all the special challenges.
Yep, I got through that on 360. That's one.
It's poker.
Yep.
There's not much to say other than that. And the fact that, wow, those voice samples loop really quickly.
Yep. Most definitely.
I mean, really, really quickly. Like, way faster than the first game.
Yeah, I mean, I actually deleted that game off my hard drive. So I was just like, I've got all the achievements for this. It has no multiplayer. I will never play this again.
Yeah, that's... I didn't get every achievement for it. I didn't...
You didn't get the million.
I didn't get the million.
Oh, I grinded for that. That was one because that was the last achievement. I was like, okay, I'm going to grind for this, and I grinded for it, got it, and I'm like, okay, delete.
Yeah, I was like, I can't quite sit here and listen to Sam and Max say the same 10 things over and over and over and over again.
Yep, that was a grind. So,
and yet, occasionally, there was weird through lines of a little sub stories going on, and those were really interesting. And I don't know why those were took so long for those to appear. Like the Ash and Wendy sub-story, and the Brock and the collectible cards sub-story.
Yeah.
There's so many little sub-stories, and I don't know why those were super, super rare. I don't know. But yeah, there's really not much else to say about that game. Then, during the Steam Summer Sale, after I had finished playing Poker Night 2, I decided, I'll play Wizorb for the PC. Because I had bought that on Steam, I think earlier in the year during the January sale. Or December sale, one of those.
Mm-hmm.
And, okay, so you know what Breakout is?
Yes.
That's Wizorb.
Okay.
It's Wizorb entirely. Only you get to cast magic from your paddle to bounce the ball around. So you could cast fireballs, or cast a wind spell to control where the orb is flowing from left to right. So, I am very bad at Breakout, actually. So, I'm really bad at this game. I keep losing over and over again at it. I'm gonna keep trying to get further in it, but I'm kind of bad at it, so I don't know how far I'll be able to get in it. So maybe not the best purchase for like $2. I think it was at the time, but we'll see. It's really colorful. It's got a really nice style to it. There's RPG elements in there for rebuilding an entire town. But to do that, you have to collect the gold by breaking blocks and collecting the gems throughout the levels where you're actually bouncing the orb around. So it's kind of not much else to explain about it. It's just bouncing that ball around the screen, and there's apparently boss fights at some point. I never got that far because, like I said, I'm kind of bad at the game. So, yeah. Alright, and last game that I was playing was on PC. Played about 4 hours, 5 hours of it-ish, somewhere around there. Was Onigiri for the PC.
Okay, this is the one I've never heard of. This has to be the...
So, let me explain why I even tried to play this game. And started to. Okay. Since July 1st, I had been seeing ads online everywhere. Any site that I visit, really, because obviously they're tracking cookies for whoever's doing the advertising for it.
Right.
So it's all over the place. And I'm like, this game, it looks, the ads for it are just anime. So I don't know what was up with that. So I'm like, I gotta at least know what this game is. And I get to the website and I'm like, I think it's an MMO, but I'm not really sure. And I dig a little deeper into the main website of the company that produced the game, or at least distributed it in the US.
Yeah.
Sure enough, it's an MMO. So I'm like, well, it's free to play, so all right, I'll give it a shot. It looks like it's some kind of action RPG. It's hella action RPG, that's for sure. It's got a little bit of MMO in it, in that your skills with each weapon that you can wield are on a cooldown. And yet they're also dictated by how much mana you have at the same time. So, yeah. It's a weird system, but it kind of works. And I'm kind of enjoying the game so far. There's actually controller support for the game, so I was kind of surprised. I'm gonna try out the controller support when I go to play it next time.
Sounds like a plan.
I mean, I was surprised that there was even an option. I was like, I'm looking through the options, like, wait, there's controller support for this? Okay. So far, it's just kind of been a standard anime-style story. You were chosen. You have great potential. Go save the world. Oh, hey, you saved this girl. Okay, she's gonna follow you around for a while. Uh-oh, that girl's bodyguard came in and, uh-oh, mistakes were made. Oh, no, she's gonna join you now. It's like anime 102, 103. It's not quite 101, but it's close.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's the story is not the exact best reason to come to this game. I don't know. It's weird. I'm not entirely sure why I'm going to play it again, and why I played it for so long the first time I played it. It's interesting, really. It really is. Like I said, it's an action-style RPG. You can actually dodge out of the way of attacks from your enemies. You don't exactly have a lot of options for your attacks, at least for your standard attacks. It's just hold down attack button for this many attacks, and that technically constitutes a combo. So it's super simple.
Right.
But then they layer in a bunch of other stuff as well. Okay, so each of the classes of characters, which they put their own spin on them, so they're not quite the warrior, not quite the cleric, kind of stuff like that. They're all slightly different. But some of them specialize in your standard bows, double dagger weapons, long swords, axes, spears, standard stuff. It seems like any class can use any of the weapons. So currently I've decided I'm going to go like dual dagger bow focus, more dexterity based. And the reason you'd want to do that, and the reason you're going to want to have multiple weapons of each of those types, is because each of the weapons has durability. Now, normally that's not a big problem. But if you get a really rare but low quality item, it can have super low durability but super high damage. There are ways to repair the damage, but you can't let the weapon completely degrade to zero. Because unless the weapon that I was using said you couldn't repair it, once a weapon hits zero, I don't think you can repair it, period.
Yeah.
So, unless I just missed the cannot repair, like, text somewhere on it, because there is text that says you can't repair it. The weapons have elemental effects and affinities. It seems like a fairly well-made RPG. It's just not a story to write home about so far.
Right.
So I think I'm gonna keep playing it for a little while. See where that game goes. But definitely an interesting Japanese style RPG. That's for sure. And the name actually refers to food, because food is how you regain your health when you're in dungeons, and it's also how you regain your mana as well. So it's kind of just the inside reference to that. I mean, there's really not much else to say. It's free to play, so you can give it a shot. I'm not really sure how long it'll take you to download it if you were to give it a shot.
Yeah, no.
It's not that taxing on PCs, because I've got it running on maximum, and my graphics card is not that good.
Yeah, it's just all this free-to-play stuff that requires multiple gig downloads, and it's all right. I've got enough stuff to occupy me, so thanks but no thanks.
Maybe give it a try, because it does have controller support, and I know that's an important factor.
It's an important factor for me, but I've got way too much other stuff to play to worry about something like that. So.
Alright, well, that's all the stuff that I have been playing, and I think that's going to do it for the show.
Yeah, talked a little too much about cards.
Yeah. Oh, that's not exactly why we're gone so long. Because we both had so many games to talk about.
That was a portion of it. That was half an hour. I think that.
Yeah, but it was worth doing it because it was card games are awesome.
Yeah. All right. So.
Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe to the show through iTunes, Zune. I keep saying Zune Marketplace because through the Windows Marketplace or whatever music thing, I don't know, whatever the hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. You can get the show on iTunes, like I said. You can also get the show directly from our RSS feed, which you can acquire the address for on frigidblast.com or our Facebook page. You could just search for Checkmate Arcade, 2 words.
Stitcher Radio, still on there, right?
Yep. Every new episode gets uploaded.
Yep.
So if you're on the go, pull out your Stitcher app and listen to us when you're in your car or jogging or whatever.
Yep. And then on Twitter, it's at Checkmate Arcade. Myself is at MSU Hitman. I can see both accounts on my phone, so if you send to one or the other, I will likely respond.
Yeah. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at DarkBossman. Alright, so that's going to do it for this week, where I had some crazy knockdown, drag-out fights in some serious strategy games, card or puzzle, whichever your choice is. They can lead to some crazy battles. My name is Stephen Boss, the Dark Boss Man.
I had some fun with Red White Burn in Chicago, not gonna lie. Had some fun, almost won some cash. I'm MSU Hitman Jason Billingsley.
You'll get him next time, man. You're right on the cusp. I could feel it.
Yeah.
Don't worry. You'll do it. I know you will. You'll break in. You'll become that PC guy.
Pro Tour.
Or well, you know what I meant.
I know.
Pro Circuits, Pro Tours. It's technically the same thing. Alright, so we will see you on live, PSN, and maybe even on the net.
Peace out, everybody.